So load balancing is something very interesting topic, and if you practice, then it's good. If you don't practice, then you will not understand that. Actually, it's a fun to have load balancing, and just imagine. So only difference what we did is we use that the script. Okay, what is that class? We use that. It is not a script actually. It is just an commands, CLI commands, which we just unshare my screen. So it is what we did, like we open HTTP port on Linux server, and we apply, like we created one web page. Otherwise, creating web page is a big effort, like you need to learn the HTML or Java, and based on that only you can create a different image. So if you aware about that, then you can go ahead and create web page, okay, on Microsoft server or whatever, and then use the load balancer. So the same page will be available. Same page will be available on both the site, both the server. So why we use what is called server 1 and server 2 image? Because we wanted to test, are we reaching to the right? So when we say the load balancer, so where is the load balancer? Here you have this is called a backend server. So there are multiple names. It is also called real server. Okay, and so this is the internet. Okay, and you are sitting here. This is the guy. I'm very poor in the drawing. So this guy, when he hit the URL, okay, it is a public URL. Okay, so from the internet, this guy will, when it hit, so this is your AWS cloud boundaries. Hmm. So what will happen? Yesterday we have seen, when we hosted a public website, so that website is accessible from internet. Like the same website was able to access by Nazim, Salman, and Nitika. They all tested. So when they hit, so actually it is coming to my AWS, okay, and there is a load balancer security group. First check was here, if you recall yourself. So that was, to the load balancer we attach one security group. So in the security group we said we open port 80. So when this user he try to access that HTTP some blah 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 website, okay, which I have given. So when he used, okay, so it hit there. So when it come to load balancer, so load balancer first it will see the security group. Is the port 80 enabled for that particular IP address of particular website? Yes. The first check is done. Then when it comes, this is a your load balancer. This is called ELB, elastic load balancing. Okay. So now
Hello.
yes. What happened? Hello. Is my voice is clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. So okay. So I thought it's not clear. Okay. So what will happen when it comes here? load balancing. So in the balancing, in load balancing, what we did, we created one target group, right? In the target group, we attached these two instances, which was our server one and server two. And what happened when it come here? So the load balancer, it has, it does two things. Okay, the first thing, it allow I can say external traffic based on your security group. Next, it does load balance by using the methods, round robin method, or there are multiple methods are there. So one request, if two users are coming, so your first hit is going to server one and second hit is going to server two. So it does a load balancing. And the third thing which load balancer does, that is called health check. Health check of a real server. So these are the three important steps which load balancer does. Okay, and guys, don't worry about the theory. I will send you the theory. I have some good material. So just try to understand the concept and do the lab, because theory you have a lot of time to learn the theory. Okay? Don't go theoretical. So just try to build this. You will stuck, then you will start learning. So one of my one of my sir, he used to say, in the networking or in any IT, if something is going as it is, then there is you are not learning. Okay, every day is the same. But something, if you stuck somewhere, if you stuck somewhere, then think that you started learning. If you don't stuck, you are not learning. So if you start, challenges will come, and you will get. So yesterday, okay, now if you look at here, so the load balancer will do here, and here to this instance we have another security groups mapped. See, it is two layer of security, SG security group. You can use that when we bind. So what we did here, so in this security group here also we allow port 80, because this is an inbound traffic. Someone is coming from outside and trying to access that particular web page which is hosted here. On the web page, we write down like only the server one and server two. So you open port 80. So you need to have, if yesterday what happened, when Salman was doing practice, so I think he missed port 80 allowing here or here, and he was unable to access that. So when he allowed this both side port 80, it started working, right? So this is what the load balancing is. So why I am giving a small revision, because we are our another chapter. Okay, and it is not finished. Okay, so there are a few more things I'm going to cover in next few days. So we will be go some more detail, because okay, I don't want to disclose those uh, those things, but now I will tell you, with this load balancer there are a few more topics are related to this. Okay, so we will do some more. We will go a bit advanced into that. Why? Because this is every organization. If you tomorrow if you get a job on AWS, then 100% they will ask you, please create ELB. That's why I'm trying to focus, because see, in every organization, what is the purpose of using the AWS? The end goal is the application. You need to have application in the cloud. Maybe it is an internal application or external application. Those application will be on the servers, and companies don't use one server, they use multiple servers. And when you say multiple server, then load balancer will be there. So load balancer will be having a key role. So that's why you have to do this ELB. You should be comfortable with the ELB. Just try to do multiple times, 3 4 times, just get hands on with the ELP. Okay, so let me move to the next topic. Okay, now Salman bhai, Nitika, Nazim, you're with me or sleeping?
No,
Yes, sir.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, perfect. Okay, so now there is
But
something called auto scaling. Okay, auto scaling by name, what you understand. Scale means what?
Increasing something.
Mm-hmm. Salman bhai, scale means what?
so basically, in the context of hardware, or
Mm-hmm.
I would say that scaling would be to increase the capacity of
Exactly,
server.
exactly. So now let's, before understanding auto scaling, let's understand our traditional infrastructure. Okay, now what happen is you have, okay, this is your organization, and as I told, there will be internet router, there will be a firewall here, there will be a core switches here, and there will be access switches here, and behind this your all servers, your endpoints will be here, all the users will be sitting here. Okay, and there is a internet. Okay, so why I'm showing this one, because I want you to be very clear why exactly what is happening. Okay, so this is, it will be like this and it will be like this. I know I'm going very basic stuff, but it is required. This is my style to show anything. I go from the very basic. Okay, so this is, let's say this is a router, this is a firewall, this is core switch. Core means it's a big switch. Okay, it take care of all those stuff. So this is also called a layer 3 switch. It does
Multi-layer.
routing. Yes, and this all will be the access layer switches. This is called L2 switch, which learn the MAC addresses. Okay, L2, and these are the endpoints. Endpoints means your machines,
I think
your users. Yeah.
anyway, one quick question on this thing, because we are not from, at least I am not from security, networking background.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So L2 switch, is it the only switch which will be able to do the trunking, or L3 will also,
Yeah,
core switch also do?
L3 will also does.
Okay, thank you.
Even router can do a trunking. Trunking means passing multiple VLANs.
Okay,
Okay. There are two types of ports in the switches. One is the access port, where from this switch to this computer is connected. So it will be part of one VLAN only.
okay,
So let's say it is a VLAN 10. But when you connect L2 to L3, so there will be multiple VLANs will pass from this trunk, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that is called a trunk. So two types of interfaces, trunk interface and access interface. Access
right.
port, trunk port. Okay. So now, so this is what your infrastructure is, and your servers will be here. Okay, let's say you have one, and in organizations there will be something called, in the firewalls there will be a zones. Okay, zones means, again, I'm not going to detail of the firewalls. So in the firewall, this will be external zone, this will be external zone which is facing the internet. This will be internal zone which is your more secure. Okay, so the purpose of firewall, protect the internal zone from the external zone. That's the main objective. And suppose you want to host some website to the external world, then there is another zone in the firewall get created, that is called DMZ zone. So here this will be your DMZ switch, okay, and here you will have a server. Here you will be having a web server. You hosted a web server here. Okay? Web server. So in AWS, we see for our infrastructure. Yesterday we created one server, right? Load balancer and all. But in infrastructure, it is not so easy. You need to have this all infrastructure. You cannot host a public server in your organization directly. So to host public server, you need to have a firewall. You need to make it separate zone. Oops, sorry. You need to create a separate zone from your. See, this is a separate zone. This is a separate zone, and this is a separate zone. So and zone to zone, from external to internal, no one can go. External to DMZ, no one who can go and who will go. So the firewall will have policies here. Policies. If you remember, in our AWS, these rules are called security groups. You know, these are the policies. Who will allow, who will come, and who will go out. What is the source? What is the port? So the firewall will decide the policies. It is like a checkpoint. Okay, who are you? Internal. I want to go to internet. Okay, fine. Let me check. If you have a rule, okay, then okay, you can go to the internet. So the firewall will take care of all. So now this web server. Now let's say you hosted one web server. Now I'm coming to the point. So what happened is, a web server means, let's say you have this company is something, you are selling something. Okay, let's say internet, you have some internet business, e-business, and some marketing application is hosted here. So what will happen from internet, anyone, they can go to the app store, or they can log into the browser. Let's say Amazon itself. So they will hit here and they will purchase something. They will put an order into that particular server. Okay. So now what happened? Let's say suddenly, generally, what will happen when you put any application? So there is some expectation. So we will see the logs, like in a day, like in per month, how many hits are coming. Hits means how many users are hitting that. What is the per day average? What is the per hour average? Means in per hour, how many users are coming and accessing this particular website? Even per minute. Okay. So in 1 minute, how many users are coming? So based on that, the capacity of the server will get decided. So they will say the RAM is right now, let's say it is a 4 GB RAM. It has the processor is dual core processor or something. So something is there. So now we know that average is 100. Okay, per minute, let's say per minute, 100 users will access this application. Then right now, whatever the hardware required for this server, it is fine. So everything was going fine, normal and all. What happens suddenly? Let's say, for example, on 31st December, you put some offer. You put some offer in your e-business saying that 50% off, or like buy one get one free something. So what will happen when it go internet? So suddenly your hit will get increase. So instead of 100, the hundreds of people just they will come and try to access this server. And what will happen? The average capacity of this server was 100. Now per minute you are getting 1000 requests. So now tell me, what will happen? What will be the impact for this? Can someone?
So systems will crash with the over traffic over.
Exactly. See, if you have a glass of water, okay, and you are filling water into that glass, the glass has some capacity. If you fill the glass is filled, so what will happen? The water will start falling from the glass because it already filled. So the same thing with the server. Same thing with the server have the capacity to handle 100 packets per minute, and now 1000 packets came. So what we will do? Nothing. Suddenly, what will happen? The impact. The first it will start getting slowness, and suddenly your server will get crashed. That's why the organization what they will do, they actually I have given you example standalone, but generally in organization there will be a multiple server. The web server 1 and web server 2 will be there, and there will be load balancer. I don't want to make complicated diagram. That's why I just give an example. Web server 2 and there will be load balancer. If suppose this server went down, this server will take care of that. But still, this is not. There is no. Let's say for example, your business got increased. When you started, the 100 packet was there, but after 31st also, in general, so still your server getting slowness. So what is the solution? Now you- we understand that your business got increased, so you need to, your server is no more scalable. Scalable means there is no capacity, so you need to increase the ram, you need to increase the processor, you need to increase the hardware of that server, and you will do that. You will cost is involved there, downtime will be there, there will be procedure, you need to purchase that particular hardware and start that, and like this it will happen. Okay, let's say even that is not scalable, then again you need to think about that. So this will goes and on and on and on and on. So this is a real challenge in our infrastructure. Let's move to the cloud. This is your cloud. Okay, and what you did, and here no router, no switches, no firewall, nothing. Only what you need is here is you just need to select the region. Let's say I'm in North Virginia region. Okay, so in this region I have a VPC and all, routing table and all. You already know about that. So now what happen is you you have a two servers. Let's say for example, you hosted two servers. Okay, and some application is going on there, and you hosted this application on the internet. So we have all the security groups and all coming into picture there. So what will happen, you have this capacity. So now the same scenario. Okay, now 100 per hour packets are coming. So what happen is suddenly you got some increase, let's say 1000 packets. So in Amazon, there is one service called auto scaling. What you can define, I will say, boss, for this particular application, okay, for this particular application, minimum server required two, but maximum servers will be five. Minimum servers two, maximum server are five. So what will happen? So right, not in picture, they're not yet configured. Okay, and you will define some threshold. Let's say per minute, if you get 90 packets per minute, then go and do auto scaling. So what Amazon will do, if suppose suddenly on 31st you have a two instance here, so automatically by seeing the traffic, the Amazon will create a similar server automatically. One, 2, 3 based on your traffic. These instances will automatically get created, and when the traffic flow went down, then automatically these instances will get deleted, and still you will be having two servers. So doesn't it interesting? See how important and how scalable they did. So the auto scaling, there is no manual effort required here. Just by looking at your traffic average, automatically get created. And when the traffic went down, the traffic flow goes down. So these servers will get automatically erased. So this is an auto scaling. Any questions, sir?
So I think one question. So how does the server know that it's a genuine traffic and not a denial of
Very,
service type of attack?
very good question. Yes, there will be control there.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so you know the all the AWS monitoring will happen on. Okay, now tell me one thing. In your infrastructure, how you will come to know that is it a genuine traffic or it is a denial of service?
Based on the pattern, continuous something.
No, apart from that, you have something else. You does a monitoring, right? You have a SolarWind or you have some type of monitoring tool where you can see the graph of your traffic. You can see the report, and you have a firewall here. So with the firewall which is allowing only port 80 traffic or some particular traffic, three-way handshake, TCP session and all. So your question is very correct, that how you will come to know this is genuine traffic. Maybe there is one attacker here, and let's say your service is hosted on port 80. So what they will do, this attacker, it is not now, this is the automation. So attacker they will do just script, run a script. So there is no person behind that, just a script. It will keep hitting your servers continuously, and when the hit come, so your server will has to respond. And like this, in this process, your genuine customer will get impacted, and your service will get down. So this is called um, DOS, denial of service attack. So here it will be purposely or competitor attack or something. There are a lot of discussion on that, but it can be happen. But here we have some sort of security here. We have the security groups. We have cloud watch, which will keep monitoring of these stuffs. Okay, and where it will see the genuine traffic and all. So but what about the concept? You understand this auto scaling, right? So
Yes, sir.
in real time, where you have manual efforts here to purchase hardware, do this and all. Here everything will get manual, auto scale. Okay, so to do the auto scaling, what you need to do? The first thing first is let me create one instance. It's our web server. So I will create one instance, Linux instance. Configure. I will run one, and here I'm going to use, let's say this is my server one. Add storage. Give some tag. security group. See, by default it is Linux, so it is asking for SSH, but I will add another rule. I want port 80 also. Port 80 and custom. I will say 0.0 IPv4 because I need my application is hosted on port 80. That's the what I can do is okay, that's fine. Review and launch. So I will say web server P acknowledge launch instance. So my EC2 instance is getting ready. So for auto scaling, see, so when we create our application, so we know what what will be our instance type, what image we are going to use. Want a replica of the server, let's say. So let's set server into the auto scaling. If something must have an auto scaling group for this. So when this there is something called, if you remember, recall yourself, there is something called AMI, Amazon Machine Image, which is nothing but a backup of your instance. So to take the backup, what you need to do, you need to take first a snapshot of your instance. Then from snapshots, you can create AMI. So this AMI is nothing but it will keep track of what type of instance it is, what is the hardware parameter and all. So all these things it will store in this image. So this image we will use in our auto scaling group. Okay. So we will first create the auto scaling group like target group. So here we will say we want to have auto scaling for this AMI. AMI is Amazon Machine Image. We need to provide the information there. First, we will create the group. Then we need to, and here also we define what will be our threshold and how many servers you want, minimum how much, maximum how much, and finally we launch the configuration. So once you launch the configuration, so there is something you can give time. So once the threshold cross, automatically your server will get created, or there is an option called launch configuration. You can just click here, so automatically all these three server instance will get created. So we will see that once. So let this server come up. So this is my T2 micro and this is my public server. And if you notice yesterday today also, so I did not SSH to this device. Why? Because I'm just using that web application on that particular server, that web page. So this is still initializing. Okay. So what we will do is, once the instance is ready, we will take the snapshot. The snapshot is nothing but a backup of this server. And from backup, we will create AMIs. And the same AMI we need to use in auto scaling group, so that the similar server will get created when the traffic get increase. But here the challenge here is with us to do this lab. Let's say, for example, I'm using one server, so I don't have any tools to do this much traffic that this server will get overloaded and automatically these servers will get created. It can happen only in the real time because we cannot generate this much of traffic. So, but we can test it. We can test it by manual. But the same thing will be happen automatically in the real time because you need to have this much traffic to generate. Okay, now my server is too bad to check now. So what I'm going to do,
Yeah, that is
just
performance testing, right? Generally,
yes,
that's what it is.
yes. So that public IP address I just taken, just put it here. It, can you see? I'm into the server 1. So this IP address you cannot remember. That's why you can also use this public address, publish DNS. So see, when you hit this URL, can you see server 1? So this is nothing but my web page. Okay. So my instance is ready and I am able to access my application. So now if you go back to what is it? Snapshots, there is nothing here. Even if you go to the AMIs, nothing is here. Okay. So first we will create a snapshot. Okay, snapshot of what? Instance. I want to create snapshot of my server 1. Okay, so it is asking, do you want the volumes also? Let's say the server has a drive, C drive, D drive, E drive. So exclude or include. If you exclude, then you will take, you will the backup will be for that particular drive only. So don't exclude. Let's say no, don't exclude, and copy tag from the volume. So I will also use tag from the, okay, say this one, create snapshot. So create a snapshot because sit. So my snapshot is getting ready. Now see, whatever the configuration on that server, everything is getting backup. So if you want, if you, let's say if you have a what is called share drive or some are used and your data is there, so you can take a drive backup snapshot instead of C and D. If you suppose you don't want C drive and D drive, so you can take a specific EBS. That is what the EBS is, Elastic Block Store. So you can take a backup of that particular volume. Okay, so snapshot it is taken. Oh, so it's 1%. So once the snapshot come, there will be action, and here only can you see create image. From this snapshot, you can create an image. See, create image from EBS snapshot. So I can say my web server. Okay, and can you see the default, all the stuff, your hardware specification and root volume and everything is picked here. So you just need to go ahead and create here. If suppose you want some more extra drive, you can put it here. Okay, and just create it. So can you see your snapshot is ready? It is completed 100%. And now by using the snapshot, you're creating a Amazon machine image. So you know this machine image you can use for any instance. Let's say, for example, okay, let's this created. Okay, so let me give some name here. Let me give name web app. Okay, so now my image is ready. So you know this image I can use while creating my instance. Let's say I'm creating new instance. Okay, so can you see here there is an option right now, like generally what we do, we select image from here, right? So you can use my AMIs and you will see this AMI. Can you see web server with just now we created? So all the parameters of that web server will get, so it is nothing but the replica of that server. My AMI, you can create it from my AMI. Okay, so now what we did, we create one server, we took the backup of a snapshot of that server, and from the snapshot we created AMI. It is nothing but Amazon machine image. So now go back to the auto scaling. Okay, auto scaling. So first we'll create a auto scaling group. Okay, now can you see this image? How it works? See, auto scaling group. The minimum size, let's say one. Desired capacity is two. But scale out needed. You need scale out two more servers. So the maximum is four, minimum is one. You understand this image? Auto scaling. So you need to define that auto scaling group. Okay. So and there is a pricing. Amazon Institute auto scaling feature have no additional fees beyond the service. Amazon Institute CloudWatch for scaling and other AWS instances that you use. Visit the pricing page to see the service. So obviously, if you use anything, and what is the benefit of this? Fault tolerance, availability, cost management. Save money by dynamic launching instance when they are needed, and terminate them when they aren't. See, cost management, tolerance. Detect when an instance is unhealthy, terminate it, and launch instance to the replacement. See how simple it is. And related service, you can use a CloudWatch. Use Amazon CloudWatch to enable scaling policy and monitor metric of auto scaling group. And also you can use ELB to use the load balance and Amazon EC2 instance. So these three services you can use. See, even I am new for the auto scaling, so I can read this information, right? So let's go ahead and create. At least we understand how to create auto scaling group. Okay, launching is different stuff, testing is different stuff, but you should understand the concept. And when okay, now what you need to do, you need to first give the name. I will say next gen scale. Okay. So now which template you want? Choose launch template contain instance level setting. One second, guys. This launch configuration. Do I need to create this first? One second. Launch to template. Launch configuration. Let's say, yeah. Next. One. So instead of using launch configuration to create AMI, so I think we will get our AMI here. Yeah, here we go. Can you see web server? Okay. So what I did, launch configuration, I use my web server. Then choose instance type. So for that configuration, what instance type you needed? I want medium, large, T2 micro, T2 micro, general purpose. Choose. So for that instance, I want this one. See, one CPU, 1 GB, and one EPS. Additional configuration request spot instance, purchase option, the AMI profile. AMI, sorry, IAM instance profile. These are the additional options. Leave it. Storage is fine. Create, okay, security group. See, bulk security group you can create for whatever the your auto scaling group. So if you want, you can select existing security group which just now I created. Which is that? Server. Linux. Let's see, access the Linux box. 1 second. Or you can let me use this, or maybe let me create a new security group. And right now, what it is asking, the security group is let's say TCP. If I choose anything, let me take the existing security group. Come down. Key. Which key you want? Let's say if you have existing one, you will see those key. Let's say Linux web. I acknowledge and log. So create launch configuration. So successfully created launch configuration. So you created, this is something like this is the pattern. So to you make that server, you build that particular server, because on the server your application is hosted. So you don't want that application and all the stuff created again and again. One time you create that server in production, take the AMI, and you can use you can prepare this. So next time you no need to do all this steps. You just need to follow this. Okay, launch instance. Okay, now we created this feature, launch configuration. Now let's move back to auto scaling group. Create auto scaling group. Let's say next. I'm creating auto scaling group. Why it is not switch to launch configuration? Here I will see that. Okay, now can you see the launch configuration which we just created for our next gen web? So I got that option. Okay, now you will see for my auto auto scaling group. Okay, I am going to use this next gen web. So it has this is security group. This is will be the key. This will the AMI. This will be the instance type and all. Okay. So now the next, see there are 7 steps. The first step is choose launch template or configuration. So what we did, whatever our group we just created that template. Template is something, if you have some repeated work, then you can use that create one template and use that template many times. That's the purpose of the template. So this is the first step. Next, now next, what it is saying, configuration, configure setting. So this is a network setting. So what you want, this is the default VPC and subnet. Where you want, let's say I want this subnet and also this subnet. Okay, two availability zone you have to. So your servers, when it come, so they will be part of this particular subnets only. So let's say you want to use only one availability zone, then remove it. So you will, all your auto scaling servers will be in this particular subnets only. Okay, now next, so you selected the template, then you configure the network setting. Now configure advanced option. Now load balancing option, see you have option here, attach new load balancer or attach existing load balancer. Okay, or no load balancer. If suppose I don't want load balancer because I have a one up to the minimum one server, and in case something increase, so I want some more servers to be increased there. Health check option. Okay, health check option is EC2. I want to health check of the EC2. Health check grace period. See the amount of time until EC2 auto scaling perform. The first health check new instance they are put into service. So 300 second. This is a default value. Okay, if you want, you can increase it. Okay, additional setting, enable group metric collection with CloudWatch. See, if you click this, so what will happen is CloudWatch alarms will automatically get created. Enable group metric. So metric is something, what is the in out, what is the graph of your traffic. So those things will be there. Okay. Next. Now, this is very important. Configure group size and scaling policies. What is your desired capacity? Can you see? The desired capacity is, let's say, 2. Minimum capacity is 1, maximum is 4. You understand? Because this is very important point. So what here is specify the size of auto scaling group by changing the desired capacity. You can also specify minimum and maximum capacity limit. Your desired capacity must be within limit range. So see, your maximum is 4, minimum you want 1, and the desired is at least I want 2. So these are the number of servers you are giving. So see, there is no capacity limit here. You can increase. So any questions? Because this is something you are deciding how many servers you want in the future. So this is what, let's say, what we decided, we want maximum based on our traffic, we want 4 servers or minimum 1 server will be there, and our desired is 2. Now come down. Scaling policy. If you want some advanced option, make it none. Instant scale protection, it is advanced option, leave it. Next. Additional notification. Send SNS whenever Amazon auto scaling is something terminated. So you can add the notification. Okay. So SNS, if you remember CloudWatch, while doing SNS, this is simple notification service. So if your server went down, if you remember that CloudWatch lab, what happened? We use a CloudWatch alarm, and whenever your server went down, so this simple notification service, it will send email notification to your email address. You will get an SMS. So if you want, you can create this. See, billing alarm, something, you can create this one. I already have that one. So, or you can create. So, what will happen whenever the event happen? Let's say your server is getting high utilization. So, automatically you will get an alarm. If your server is created or your server is getting terminated, all this event information you will get an email address. Okay. So, we are associating monitoring, we are associating notifications, everything in one platform with this auto scaling. Next, add tags. If you want tags, you can use that. Say name is optional. Tag also optional. Leave it. Next. Okay. Launch configuration. So now you can review everything. What is the group? I use the next auto group. Okay. Next is configure setting. Network settings are there. Our servers will be having this subnet 172.31. They will be belongs to this subnet. Then advanced options, health check. We want health check. Then we also created enable the monitoring. We are going to monitor. A CloudWatch will also get alarm will get created. Then size group. How many servers we want? Our desired is 2, minimum 1, 4. Scaling policy, we don't have that. Then instance in protection, enable instance protection from scaling. Notification, we also use the SNS topic. Whenever something launches, we will get a notification. When something terminate, we will get a notification, and these all things. And also tag, if you want, you can add, create all auto scaling group. Can you see? Our auto scaling group is created. Something is new come, right? So you're seeing this blue color something, so you can start learning about that. Okay. So now what we did, we created launch configuration and we created auto scaling group. Okay. So if I go to the instance, okay, so now auto scaling group, there is the option to launch it. Okay, launch configuration. Action. Is some setting got changed or what happened? Because I did this, then where is that option to launch? Many enhancements are happening. So look like recently some changes happened. Instances to mm, automatic scaling. Second. Okay, see here. Can you see here? Now, when I launch this one, okay, auto scaling group, the moment you started, so in the background, your instances are started getting ready. Can you see this? Two instances are ready here. Now see here, this instance I did not create it. Now this public IP address, if you go here, web page, and just go here and try to access this. See, server one, same application hosted here. Similarly, go here and check this. Server one. So what does it mean? It means your desired capacity is here. Okay, so let's say you can say auto, or either you can say web server one and web server two. Okay, so what happened is, now what happened, your auto scale, you said you want desired application, so two servers are here. So when this server get overloaded, these two servers, it cross the overloaded, then what will happen, Amazon, by using the auto scaling group, Amazon will create maximum two more servers like this. So your application will not be impacted. That's the main objective of auto scaling. And even if I look at my notification, I should get some notification here whenever something launch, something created. I created a topic. Okay, can you see Amazon auto scaling? See, I got some notification here saying, okay, can you see AWS auto scaling? Request ID is this one, auto scaling instance launch. See, instance ARN, and instance was started in response of difference between desired and actually capacity 0 to 2. So 2 was the desired, so at least I got 2. Status in progress, can you see the progress 50. So like this, when something happen, let's say my server capacity got increased, and I will also see something on my cloud watch. Okay, now see here. So when you look at here, so some alarms should be created here. All alarms. Okay, can you see this alarm? I think I created this something billing alarm. So you can create another CloudWatch metric, or you can you have option to create new alarm. Okay, create new alarm, and you can put that auto scaling steps. Okay, and you can watch that metric. Okay, so like this you can do a monitoring, you can do notification, you can configure the auto scaling. Now see in front of you, when you configure this, your auto scaling is done. You can see that the same application is running on all three servers. One server I am manually created, the server 1, and web server 1 and web server 2. Now, if you instead of 1, if you put there 10, minimum 10 server, so you no need to configure manually. 10 server will get automatically created. Is is it like isn't it interesting? So now you just scale it and forget it. So whenever something happens, so minimum your two servers will be there, your desired, and whenever some traffic increase, automatically third server, fourth server will get created, and once the traffic went down, so automatically those will get terminated. So minimum your two servers will be there, and those information they will keep inform you on your notification. So this is what the auto scaling is. So in the auto scaling, you need to configure. There are multiple steps. The first, you create the instance, okay, and you need to take the snapshot of that instance and create AMI. So this AMI we are using here in the launch configuration, and then by using the launch configuration, you're using that launch configuration auto scaling group. And once you create this auto scaling group, so just wait for a few minutes. Automatically, your servers will get started. And now see the let me delete this. So what will happen, we'll see that. So what I'm doing, I'm just trying to delete it. So now see here, two instances, and status is deleting. So if I go back to the instance, just refresh it. Do you see a 2 by 2 check mark here? Can you see here? See, shutting down. So you are controlling the servers from here, auto scaling. See, I did not shut down. So automatically they are shutting down. Why? Because my auto scaling group is deleted. I don't want that service anymore. I just deleted. So see, it's deleting. So when is it completely deleted, those two servers will get terminated. Similarly, I can delete this one also, because if you have EBS, if you have anything, so it will get charged to you. So I'm going to delete this one also. I don't want anymore. Delete launch configuration. Done. Similarly, you can delete snapshot, because it will cost you. It is nothing but a backup. You are having a backup there. I don't want this anymore. Delete it. Okay, can you see what it is saying? The snapshot is currently used by AMI. So there is a dependency. Snapshot, see, while creating, first you create a snapshot, then AMI. So now first you need to create the delete the AMI. So you need to deregister it first. Yeah. So you need to remove it from deregister means deregister from there. Then now go ahead and delete this snapshot. Done. Now let's go and look at our instance. Can you see both server got terminated? And let me go ahead and and now what happened is, see, I have my one server which is going on, server one. So I can go ahead and terminate this one also, because I don't want anymore. But do you see that how interesting it is? So auto scaling group like this. I just selected desired 2. You can select desired 5 and just launch it from there. So automatically similar server, 5 servers will get created for you, and you can put maximum 10. And you need to and to see that magic, you need to have that many of hits, that many of usage on those 5 servers, then the maximum 10 server will get created. But that lab we cannot see that, because we need to generate that much of traffic on that. But we can see that, we can look and feel here, these 2 servers automatically launch. And we, when we terminated this one auto scaling group, automatically these servers are gone. So is it clear? Auto scaling. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Nazim. Is it
Yeah,
clear?
we need to do the lab, then only will. If we're stuck, then we'll come to.
Okay. Okay. Chalo, theek hai. Okay then. So